The history of coffee. How a small fruit conquered the world hook every morning. Nearly 2 billion people perform the same ritual. They fill a cup, inhale the aroma, and take the first sip that starts their day. But have you ever stopped to wonder, what story lies behind that simple cup? A story of empires, global trade, revolutions, slavery, and humanity's endless pursuit of progress. This is not just a drink. It is one of the most traded commodities on earth, second only to oil. And this is the story of coffee, the story of how a humble fruit from the mountains of Africa went on to conquer the world. Our journey begins in the highlands of East Africa, in the region of Kaffa, in present-day Ethiopia. According to legend, a goat herder named Kaldi noticed something unusual about his flock. After eating the bright red berries of a wild shrub, his goats became strangely energetic. They jumped, they ran, and they seemed unable to settle down, even late into the night. Curious, Kaldi tried the berries himself. And so, according to the story, humanity discovered coffee for the very first time. Whether the tale is fact or folklore, one thing is certain: coffee's true birthplace is Ethiopia. For centuries, local Oromo communities used coffee beans as a source of energy, often grinding them and mixing them with animal fat to create portable food for long journeys. They could never have imagined that this small plant would one day become one of the world's most valuable commodities. By the 15th century, coffee had crossed the Red Sea and arrived in Yemen. There, Sufi mystics drank it to stay awake during long nights of prayer and meditation. It was in Yemen that coffee received its name, the Arabic word kahwa. Over time, that word evolved through different languages and eventually became the word we know today, coffee. The port city of Mecca soon became the world's first major coffee trading hub. Even today, the name Mecca remains famous in coffee culture. Arab merchants quickly recognized the value of their discovery. For nearly 2 centuries, they carefully guarded their monopoly on coffee cultivation. Fertile coffee beans were forbidden from leaving the region, ensuring that coffee remained an Arabian treasure. By the middle of the 16th century, coffee had reached Constantinople, the capital of the Ottoman Empire. And with it came a revolutionary new institution, the coffeehouse. These were far more than places to drink coffee. They became centers of conversation, music, business, and political debate. Poets gathered there. Merchants negotiated deals. Scholars exchanged ideas. Coffeehouses soon became so influential that Ottoman authorities occasionally tried to shut them down. But ideas are difficult to silence. And coffeehouses continued to thrive. Coffee had transformed from a private stimulant into a public ritual, a ritual inseparable from discussion, commerce, and culture. In the early 17th century, Venetian traders introduced coffee to Europe. At first, reactions were mixed. Some religious figures condemned it as the bitter invention of Satan, but according to popular tradition, Pope Clement VIII tasted coffee himself and approved of it. Once that happened, coffee's rise across Europe became unstoppable. Coffee houses appeared in London, Vienna, Paris, and beyond. They became known as penny universities. For the price of a single cup, anyone could sit among merchants, philosophers, scientists, and intellectuals. Ideas flowed as freely as the coffee itself.